Hello and thank you for joining. This is Andy from Sprinxle. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Sprinxle SCCM plugin for Intel vPro and some of the ways that Sprinxle helps in managing vPro devices. There's group device management and there's individual device management. During today's walkthrough, we're going to be taking a look at both. Just to give you a quick overview on what some of the individual components we are going to be looking at are, we have the group device management section, and the group device management feature provides options to select multiple devices, and once you've selected them, you're able to perform power management tasks, wake up events. You can mark selected devices as critical devices if you need to monitor them 24/7. We also have individual device management, and the individual device management is going to provide a bit deeper dive into things like system status, platform, processor, BIOS, and other hardware level details. It also gives the option to configure wired and wireless networks. Within these two types of management, group management and individual management, there are other options that are available, such as power management that allows you to control the power settings and wake up alarms. There's a remote secure erase, which offers you the ability to easily erase your Intel SSD drive with a single click. There's a remote desktop option that gives you hardware level KVM access to the device, enabling you to take remote control of the device regardless of its power state. And there's also a quick asset management, which allows you the freedom to boot to an OS, a network OS, boot to BIOS, boot to network imaging, and there are a few other options. And again, we are going to be going through these during today's walkthrough. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the walkthrough here. So come over to our device collections and go to Intel AMT configured devices. And we're going to go ahead and select one of the lab machines here and go to Sprinxle out of band management. And as you can see on the left, we have asset information that will include system information, media, memory, power, platform discovery, peripherals and sensors, settings. We also have power event and management. And we also have remote desktop and the remote secure erase. And we're going to go ahead and get into each one of these individually. We're going to start with individual device management. Now, as you look at the tool, you see a tab ribbon across the top with sensor information, visuals, assets, asset information, logs, power management, remote desktop, and quick asset management. Through these tabs, you're able to access a variety of different information on the system itself. What we're looking at here is the temperature, voltage, humidity, airflow, these types of things, power consumption, that are going on with the machine itself. And if we come over here to this next tab, it is going to give us a power consumption history, temperature history, and this does come in handy for things like planning out a company's power management strategy, or for those companies that are making a conscious effort to go green and would like to see where their power consumption is at and ways to improve it. Now, with the graph here, you have the ability to select the current day and from 1 to 5 previous days. A question that we do typically get asked is the solution able to provide reporting capabilities? And the that is in development. However, it is not available out of box. So if you would like to look at the reports for 1 to 5 days, this is the screen that you would come to and take a look at those reports. So it has your power consumption history as well as your temperature history. Moving on to the asset information, we have things like system information, media and memory, power and battery, platform, peripheral sensors, and the network settings. So let's take a look at the system information. And that's going to give us the system status, the platform information, its BIOS, its baseboard, and its processor information. And through these screens, you're able to click on some of these drop downs that will show you more. By default, they should be expanded, but if they're not, and you see view more, view less, there are maybe one or two more lines below what's being shown. Moving on to the network settings, there's both the wired network and the Wi-Fi profile. So if you click on the wired network settings, you're able to take a look at the IP address, subnet mask, gateway, DNS for the machine for its IPv4 and its IPv6 settings if it's enabled and there are settings that have been already configured. Moving on to the power management tab. Now, the power management tab allows you to do a variety of different power management tasks. The most common are going to be the power on, power off, restart, and soft restart. So you have the ability to do this for an individual machine, but you also have the ability to do this for a group of machines. And for the group management, we're going to get into that just a little bit later. For this one, we're taking a look at a specific machine, and it's the HP 800 that's in the lab here. And we have the option for boot time options to boot normally into the OS. We can do a Pixie boot or a network boot if we are doing some kind of imaging. We do have the ability to select a hard drive if we would prefer not to load from a main drive, but instead load from a secondary drive that is installed on the machine. You do have the ability to do that. You also do have the ability to boot from a CD or DVD, which can come in handy for help desk personnel should software need to be installed that is only on a disk, or a machine needs to be repaired from disk. They now have the ability to access that CD or that DVD pre-boot. Below in the scheduled power events, this is where you can set a repeating task. If you, for instance, say have to do a reboot of your machines in your environment every 30 days, at least once, you have the ability to come in here and set it so that task manually happens every 30 days, and there's no need for you to come in and have to program a task once a month. You can do this in individual device management, and again, we will take a look at this in the group management, but it does apply to one machine or a group of machines. So moving on to remote desktop, it does offer a KVM remote desktop, and we'll go ahead and just click on connect here. And once the authentication happens, as you can see, you're able to go ahead and take remote control of this machine. Now, I'm not sure if somebody's using this in the lab right now, so we're going to go ahead and disconnect. It does function in the same fashion that every other screen mirror and RDP viewer session functions. The same tool sets and the same rules do apply. And so we move on to quick asset management. Now, with the quick asset management, you have the ability to boot to a visual BIOS, the textual BIOS. You have the ability to do a remote drive erase, and this is going to apply to SSD drives. With one click, you do have the ability to go ahead and erase this machine. Because I'm not sure if somebody else is working on this or not, I'm not going to go ahead and erase this machine, the hard drive, but you do have the ability, and the process happens very quickly. So once you do make the decision that yes, this drive does need to be erased, within 2 to 3 minutes that drive will be completely empty. So we're going to go ahead and go over to and talk a little bit about the group device management now. So we'll go ahead and go back to the home screen and look at the group of devices that we have here, and devices by group. So as you can see, we have select auto reboot machines, power management all, and event scheduling all. So this is going to select the machines that are in this group. So vPro 2 has 3 machines, vPro has 2 machines. So if we select the group that we want and then go into power management all, we now have the ability to power on, power off, hibernate, restart with one click. And it will be applicable to all of the machines that were selected or the entire group if the entire group has been selected. The event scheduling works very much the same as it does with the individual device management. You have the ability to come in and set these tasks so that they repeat automatically without you having to come back and pay constant attention to them. Again, once you do schedule an event, it will repeat until the duration has expired or until you cancel the task. And again, this would be applicable to any machines that were checked as part of the group, or if the entire group is selected or we select all the devices, then it will get applied to all of them. Thank you for joining today's walkthrough. We hope you found this informative. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us here at Sprinxle.